Hello again, Year 6. So we're going to continue with looking at the different tenses today, but today we're going to look at the past and the present progressive tense. Okay, so we're going to work out what it is and when we would use it. So remind me, how could we describe the present perfect tense? So an example I've got for you is I have walked to the shop. Have a think for a few moments. How could you describe the present perfect tense? Think about the use of the word have. Think about the tense of the main verb. How could you describe it? Okay, let's have a look. So, the present perfect tense uses the verb either have or has before the main verb, which is in its simple past tense form. Well done if you remembered that. Okay, so first of all then, progressive means continuous. Okay, so if progressive means continuous, then past progressive describes events that happened in the past over a period of time. So they use a past tense verb, either was or were, followed by the present tense main verb. So for example, I was whispering to John. Okay, so we've got the verb was, and then we've got the present tense verb of whispering, of whisper, which is whispering. Okay, so if that's the past progressive, what's the present progressive? So present progressive describes events that are happening right now and haven't finished yet. So they use the verb am or is, followed by the main verb in its present tense form. So for example, I am reading a book. Can you see how that action hasn't finished yet because you are still doing it? Okay, so that's the present progressive. So we've got the verb am, and then we've got reading in its present tense form. So I am reading a book, which suggests that I haven't finished reading yet. Therefore, it's the present progressive because it is still ongoing. So, thinking about the past and present progressive then, and the verbs that we use before the main verbs, can you sort these sentences into past progressive and present progressive? So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentences there. So what I would do is I would number 1 to 6 down my page, and I would either write past progressive or present progressive next to each number to indicate what you think each of these sentences is. Okay, so you've got I am listening carefully to my teacher. Freddie is talking at the back of the room. We were learning about the Roman Empire. During the lesson, Mabel was whispering to me. At break time, we were playing tag. I am reading a book about gladiators. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, let's see what the answers are then. So the past progressive sentences were, we were learning about the Roman Empire. During lesson, Mabel was whispering to me. At break time, we were playing tag. And your present progressive sentences are, I am listening carefully to my teacher. Freddie is talking at the back of the room. And I am reading a book about gladiators. Because all of these suggest that it's still ongoing, it's not finished yet. And all of these suggest that it happened over a period of time. And they use the verb were or was, and these ones use am or is. Well done if you got those correct. Okay, so like the other day's lessons, you're going to have a few pictures, and I'm going to ask you to write a sentence about them either in the past progressive or the present progressive. Okay, so when I move the slide on, I would like you to pause the video and have a go at writing a sentence about each of the picture in the form that I've asked you to. So the first one, can you write a description of the picture in the past progressive form? So pause the video and see if you can have a go at that one. Okay, my example would be they were walking along the promenade. So I've used the past tense were, and then I've used the present tense form of my main verb, which is walking. Let's have a look at this one. So this time you've got a tiger, what looks like her cub, and you've got a snowy background. So it's up to you what you write your sentence about. Have a go now, please. Okay, let's have a look what we've got then. So my example would be the mother is looking after her cub. So because we want it in the present progressive this time, I've used the verb is, which is the present tense verb, and then the present tense main verb, which is looking. The mother is looking after her cub. Well done if you've got that correct too. So remember, you don't have to have the same sentence as me, just as long as it is in the present progressive form. So you've used is or am, and then a verb ending in ing. Have a look at this one. Can you write a description of the picture in the present progressive form again? So you've got a little boy, got a hat on, he's got a toy car there. He's on the beach. There's a sea in the background, there's another child there in the background. So pause the video, see if you can write a present progressive sentence about this picture. Okay, so my example then would be the boy is playing with his toy. So I've used the verb is and then the present tense playing with his toy. So as long as you've used in your sentence is or am and then a verb ending in ing, you've got that correct also. So well done. Okay, let's have a look at this one then. So what I would like you to do is identify the verbs in the sentences below. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences. So what I would do is I would number 1 to 4 down my paper and I would just write the verb next to it. Okay, so you've got Adil cycled to school this morning. We were asked to read 3 pages of our book last night. Mr. Jones has taught us about World War II. It was raining at the weekend. So remember, there might be more than one verb in each sentence. Okay, so all the verbs in each sentence. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, let's have a look then. So, in the first one, your verb is cycled. In the second sentence, you've got the verbs were, asked, and read. In the next sentence, you've got has and taught. And in your last sentence, you've got was raining. Okay, well done if you got those correct. Okay, let's have a go at this one. So what I would like you to do is identify the tenses of all the following sentences. So again, you've got 4 sentences, so I would number 1 to 4, and I would write the tense next to the number to indicate each sentence. So you've got, I have eaten all of my ice cream. I love ice cream so much. Amir dropped his ice cream. Rachel is eating her ice cream slowly. So all of the tenses that we've looked at so far, see if you can identify which one each sentence is. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay then, let's have a look. So the first sentence is past progressive because it uses the verb have and then the past tense verb eaten. Okay? The next one is the simple past because it's just got the verb love. So it's simple present because it's just got the present tense verb love. The next one is the simple past because it's just got the past tense verb dropped. And we know it's a past tense verb because it ends in ed. And your last one is the present progressive because it's got the verb is followed by the present tense verb eating. Okay, well done if you got those correct. Okay, and this is your last question now. So what I would like you to do is write the following sentences in the past progressive tense. So remember, the past progressive uses have or has and then uses the present tense form of the main verb. So you've got I walked to the shop, I prepared dinner whilst Melanie worked upstairs, he wrote an email before the phone rang, he painted the door. So remember, you're going to need to identify the verb first to work out how to change it. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, let's have a look. So your first sentence turns to I was walking to the shop. Your second sentence, I was preparing dinner whilst Melanie worked upstairs. Your next sentence, that one actually should be whilst Melanie was working upstairs, shouldn't it? Doing it properly and changing it all to the past progressive tense. Your next one I was writing an email before the phone rang. And your last one, he was painting the door. Well done if you got those ones correct. Well done today, Year 6. Tenses are very, very tricky. Hopefully we will go over these again before the end of the year. I'll speak to you again soon.